Hi, welcome to CLiKD Creative Interviews. Hi guys, and welcome to episode 2 of our creative interview videos. I'm here with Charlie Wright from Hopeful Traders.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Okay, so I'm Charlie Wright. A couple of years ago I decided to start Hopeful Traders. You know, for not really many good reasons, like other than I'd never heard of social enterprise, just wanted to start something that did something good but also had my own business. And yeah, here we are 2.5 years later, still kind of ploughing away at it really.
Awesome. Would you say that any part of your creative spark has like inspired the work at Hopeful Traders?
Yeah, I mean I've always wanted to do, and so my background's actually like in audio and music.
Awesome.
And I did a music tech degree. When I was younger, like they kind of said to me at school, "Is choose art or music," and
Nice.
I ended up doing music. But I've always had like a lot of sort of personal interest in developing visual art skills and stuff like that. Did a bit of like design, digital media and stuff at university. Anyway, so I was kind of working in this place of doing sort of sound for TV adverts. I was just like an assistant there, and just kind of was feeling a bit disillusioned by the whole kind of working in that industry. And I don't know, like I've always been very aware that like I am a very lucky person in the opportunities that I've been given.
Yeah.
Come from like, you know, sort of wealthy family, went to private school and stuff like that, and just had this kind of thing where I just wanted to sort of share those opportunities with other people, because I was just acutely aware that, you know, I'm in a small percentage that has that kind of, you know, leg up in the world, and seemed unfair.
That's awesome. I mean, you've kind of spoken about Hopeful Traders a bit, but do you fancy speaking about it a bit more?
So yeah, so Hopeful Traders is a creative brand and I guess like fashion brand mostly. I work with people who have been affected by homelessness or like mental illness. We sort of focus on those two things, but we really kind of want to make it anything where people who kind of suffer a social disadvantage or just struggling to kind of get their work out there or name out there. We work with them to like collaborate with them on designs and like creative ideas to create products. So mostly with like an ethical, sustainable brand at the moment. So we're also everything's organic. We as much as possible source from sort of sustainable from sustainable sources who also have safe working conditions in their factories and stuff like that.
In terms of you mentioning your past and like you're definitely kind of acute awareness of your background, is that something that is there anything in your past that helped shape the company in terms of, or was it just very much your just awareness of yourself?
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, you know, like to be honest, white male, born like in southern England to like a rich family. You know, it's stuff that I try and like pretend that I'm not, but I clearly am, and like, you know, you can pretend you've had a hard life as much as you want. It has made things easier for me, and like these people don't necessarily need your sympathy. They just need like a platform to work for their work, like any creative from any background.
And with that in mind, would you fancy showing us maybe a few pieces
or
sure. designs?
Like all our stuff is, like I said, it's all fair wear certified, so it's kind of like fair trade, same principles. This is just this is David Tovey, is the main guy we work with.
Oh, perfect.
A guy who's like a really great artist, and since we've started working with him, he's come off benefits and he works for himself. He's like a real advocate for creativity amongst people who are kind of disadvantaged, and that's not just really to do with us. That is him. Like he's just an inspiring guy. And yeah, me and him will sit down and work on stuff together, and it might start out as a few doodles, but we try and make these nice screen prints with something like this. Is just, you know, it can be a really simple imagery, but executed in the right way, and like the way he kind of lays things out just makes it a bit more interesting.
That's really nice.
And yeah, like all the cotton and stuff is organic, and you know, just trying to. The difficulty we have at the moment is like I'm trying to look after all these things, like make it a quality product, make it sustainable, not have too much of an imprint on like the planet and stuff like that. But really also kind of want it to be affordable.
Of course.
I think like sustainable fashion has like quite a exclusive image at the moment. You know? When I started out, I was kind of associated like organic cotton with like, I don't know, as someone going to yoga in Notting Hill who is like not really
cafes and stuff.
Yeah, and like someone who has money, has like a lot of money, and doesn't really live in the world that maybe the sort of that we live in. Or, do you know what I mean? Yeah.
I think it's interesting you bring up David Toby, because I was going to ask. I saw the video online, and with the video, it's about David speaking about his work and his project and how you guys helped raise over £3,000 for the Billion Trust. Like, did you go into that? Because that's on. It's amazing.
It was, you know, it's like that was a real kind of high point for us, and that was just down to kind of. So when I started the company, I was kind of trying to find someone to work with on the first collection. You know, at first that seemed like such a daunting task. Like I hadn't really worked with any charities at that point or anything. I just got in touch with these guys, Cafe Art, who do projects with people who've been affected by homelessness or people from sort of disadvantaged backgrounds, and they already had this amazing community of artists, and they've been amazing. They put me in touch with a lot of the artists we work with, and they put me in touch with David, and after like wrestling David into a meeting, who was like quite resistant at first because he's just super busy, we got this first collection designed, and I put that online and went to Camden Market, and that first year was like just based around me just being at Camden Market, and we had a couple of freelancers and stuff just being at Camden Market like 7 days a week as much as possible. And it really, you know, his work really struck a chord with the people who kind of a lot of the tourists and even English people who were going to the market, really kind of struck a chord with them, and then the message, and some of his designs just really took off. And a charity that he's really close with, not a big one, they're just like they're a charity based in North London who over the winter they give shelter to a load of young people, and they do various community projects, and they were the first kind of hostel which David went into, I think. You know, he kind of credits them with saving his life a little bit. You know, there was a real turning point in his life where this guy kind of stopped him from killing himself and got him into a shelter. And one of the first people on that sort of journey, one of the first organisations on that journey was Billion Trust, and we'd been saving up we had been accumulating the money to donate at the end of the year when their crash pad opened. And David hadn't really realised how much we had actually raised for them, and I think he was a little bit blown away, and that was a really great moment actually.
I guess in that sense then, just kind of going from there, what projects are you guys focusing on at the minute, company-wise? Yeah,
so, you know, winter coming up, that's kind of a big time of year for us. Obviously, Christmas is huge for any retail brand, but for us it's really big. So I'm just we've got some new stuff coming. We'll just be doing lots of markets and events, just good old-fashioned, like pounding the pavements and getting out there and selling it. And then at the same time, I'm starting to put together a plan sort of for some more long-term stuff.
Awesome.
I really want it to be a place where we can connect like brands and bigger corporate companies with artists from these kind of backgrounds and with charity art groups and stuff.
Sure. I mean, you mentioned some of the artists and charities and such, but having seen your blog, you do a lot with kind of social enterprisey stuff. I mean, your piece on social enterprise shopping, for example, and also, is it the artists or the creatives that you worked with in Liverpool? I'm just wondering if you could mention any artists or designers in particular that have stood out to you this year, or that you kind of want to plug a bit.
I think what's really interesting at the moment is a lot of the conversation around feminism and trans issues and LGBT issues has also thrown up like all these really cool artists. Fred Alenka's another guy who Fred Alenka. I basically can only ever remember like Instagram handles of people, not their actual names or like anything like that. But like, you know, I'm quite friendly with the guys at Birdsong, and that's like a brand who I guess they would call themselves like a feminist concept brand.
Oh, sweet.
They produce all their stuff with women's groups, and like they always have a real powerful message of like positive activism that I think is just like, you know, if I was gonna like hold up one brand or like some people who are like creatives who are doing some really amazing work in that sort of social enterprise products world, I think those guys are the one. And I would like totally urge anyone to check them out. But birds are really cool. I'm trying to think that there was another one I just thought I was on a blank. But anyway, there's some people doing some cool shit.
No, I think that's a lot for our viewers to go off. But no, thank you very much, man. Like, it's a pleasure speaking to you and like to look at your stuff more and just generally kind of get to know the company.
No, thank you. Thanks for having me on, dude.
No, awesome.
That's fine.
Well, thanks, that guys. And to see the questions that Charlie's going to add to the app, make sure to just check out our social media and all the blogs and everything really that we're doing. Catch you soon.